Salutations friends, welcome back to my channel. Today I am reviewing Jasmin Perle de Thé from Fragonard. Now, this is a fragrance that is inspired by Jasmin Perle green tea, and that is a specific tea that I have a huge obsession with. So on top of being a green tea fragrance lover, a jasmine fragrance lover, this specific style of tea is something that I love to drink. I own way too many pounds of it, and I want to share my thoughts with you. So let's get into the video. Now, first things first, I purchased this fragrance. This was not sent to me to review. And the nice thing about this house that I really enjoy is it's not a crazy expensive house. I think this bottle full retail price is like $60, $62. And this is an absolutely fantastic tea scent, something very easy to wear, but there's something about it that I just find to be really special. Now, to completely kind of really review this, I do have to kind of explain Jasmin Perle tea. So real quick, I do have tea videos. I'm doing the whole tea thing. I have talked about my green tea videos and white tea videos. I will link them below. If you guys don't know, I am actually trained on tea. I did work for Teavana for way too long. So I have experience with tea, and I do love tea and scents. Jasmin Perle tea specifically is very special. It is a hand-rolled tea. I have one of my 6 2-pound tins of tea. I also have 3 or 4 2-pound bags of it just put away. When I tell you I have probably at least 18 pounds of this tea at my house, I want you to realize I'm not exaggerating. As I try to open this tin, I like these tins because they are very airtight. So this is what the tea looks like, and I will link a video below of people actually hand rolling it. It's really cool. But if you guys look, they are just these little tiny balls. I'm sorry. And they are scented very just intensely of jasmine. Now, I know I've talked to you guys before in the past about silver needle. If you look, you see those little white fuzzy things? That's like the tips of the tea leaves. So that's a little fuzzy bits of silver needle. When I do my huge tea video, so when I talk about teas and I kind of reference all the little tea videos I do, I'm going to be showing you all the teas and talking about it. That's why I'm doing all the little videos first. I'm going to be showing this tin again, but I needed to bring this for reference so you can see. Now, what I like about by Kilian's Imperial Tea, which is another jasmine green tea, is that smells like how I like to drink this, which is slightly overbrewed. So it has, with the oak moss, a bit of bitterness. The oak moss kind of mimics the tannic acid. When you overbrew green tea, it comes out just a little bit. What this smells like is if you were to shove your face in here, like just put your face in this. That's what it smells like. It smells like jasmine tea that hasn't been brewed yet. But it does have other aspects to it that are really nice and beautiful and make it a very wearable and enjoyable fragrance. But the core foundation of this scent is a green scented tea fragrance in a way that Jasmin Perle tea smells like over jasmine green teas, because the way that Jasmin Perle tea is scented, it's more of a longer intensive process than other types of jasmine teas. Now, obviously there's going to be a few outliers to the rules, but generally Jasmin Perle green tea is heavily scented through a very extensive process. It takes a very long time, and so the scent of it is more intense, it's more concentrated. It kind of borderlines on slightly bitter and a dry jasmine rather than something that's more floral and softer and sweeter. And it really pairs beautifully with the kind of bitter green tea notes rather than the sparkly, energizing, citrusy green tea notes that you can find in other jasmine tea fragrances from other brands and houses. Although those are fantastic fragrances, this, although is not a photorealistic jasmine green tea scent, it does have this beautiful foundation and a very successful interpretation of Jasmin Perle tea. And I was so tickled and so excited the first few times I wore this because I was so happy to see a brand get it right. And that just made me so happy. Now the notes in this, when you read them, you might think, oh, that's not going to be, it's just going to be something pretty and light and fizzy and fun and citrusy and playful. The top you have bergamot and lemon. At the heart you have jasmine, honeysuckle, and green tea. And at the base you have white cedar, Gaiac wood, and white amber. I will say that the lemon and the bergamot, this does have a citrus brightness, but it does have more of a pithy bitterness and a bit of a sparkle. There's no real juiciness and no true real flavor. And what I mean by that, as I kind of talk about before, is if you have the kind of, the flavor of a lemon is if you were to have like a lemon cookie or a lemon cake, but like I would say like the texture or the effervescence of a lemon would be like the sourness, the thing that kind of makes your face make funny faces. So in a fragrance, if you smell lemon, you can smell lemon, but you could smell lemon without any sparkle or acidity. And in this fragrance, with the bergamot and the lemon, you're getting more actually of the acidity and almost like a pithiness rather than the actual like smell of what a lemon is or bergamot. And I think that that works really well. Now what I like too is the honeysuckle. So the honeysuckle in here is working with the jasmine, and it's more of like a supporting character. And I think that that's working in a way that really helps the jasmine be a little bit softer and lighter, because sometimes jasmine can be a little bit too dirty, a little bit too animalic, or sometimes it just doesn't play well with other notes. You really kind of have to balance it, but you have to balance it smartly so that way it doesn't just smell white floral. And in this particular fragrance, I think honeysuckle is just the right touch because it's not really overseeding and overplaying itself in a way that it kind of ruins the jasmine's distinctive nuanced beauty. But you do get some slight whiffs of this beautiful floral in the background that's really, really nice. But at the end of the day, it's just really working its heart out, doing its best to make sure that jasmine's the center of this entire gorgeous scent. Really, jasmine is the star of the show in this fragrance, but it is not the most predominant kind of composition or feeling that this fragrance has. The feeling that this fragrance has on my skin is a very deep, very high quality smelling, slightly bitter, slightly fuzzy, yes, because of those little silver buds, because there's a little bit of bitterness when you smell those, Jasmin Perle tea. Again, that is a very distinctive, if you had like a scented sencha, if you had a scented just whatever green tea leaves you found in a bag at a grocery store, if you had a scented matcha, all of these different types of tea leaves that would be scented with jasmine have their own unique way that they smell, because even though it's all green tea leaves, not all green tea smells the same. And so with Jasmin Perle tea, because it's a specific part of the leaf, it's specifically scented in a specific way, it's specifically made a specific way, the green tea aspect of this drink, this tea has its own unique distinctive nuance on top of the jasmine aspect of it. And when you smell it, it smells bitter. Not bitter in a bad way, like overbrewed, acidic, there's something wrong with it, but like a deep, bitter greenness. And with the slight bitterness and the pithiness with the lemon and the bergamot, it really plays with the kind of the perfect balanced base notes with the white amber and the Gaiac wood and the cedar. These are very distinctive woods that really kind of on their own can stand and just kind of over enunciate themselves in a way where they could kind of overthrow the balance of this composition. But what they do is they add an authenticity to the green tea note that make it smell a little bit more earthy, a little bit more bitter, a little bit more green, slightly woody, just a little bit, just a tiny bit in the background. And that works so well to kind of create this authentic little rolled Jasmin Perle tea fragrance. But what's nice about it is the nuances of the honeysuckle and the little bit of tiny sparkle you get from the bergamot and the lemon, aside from the pithiness, and the green tea note does have a bit of sparkle and energizing citrusy brightness to this. Make this not like you're just sticking your head in that tin, but translates that experience into a wearable, beautiful fragrance. It is a very authentic experience from tea to fragrance, as somebody who loves tea. And this is what I like to see in fragrances. You don't have to create a $300 bottle of perfume like Kilian's Imperial Tea. I love what Kilian does with tea, and I wish Imperial Tea came back. It's still one of my favorites. But this is a great example of a brand taking a prompt, taking a distinctive type of tea, and really just creating it in a successful, wearable way that is not breaking the budget, that is also wearable. If you didn't know about the history of Jasmin Perle tea, you would smell this and it would be a beautiful, wearable, slightly nuanced, gorgeous green tea scent that had a little bit of bitterness, some gorgeous floral notes to it, and just something about it just smelled really, really nice. So for people that like Jasmin Perle tea and like green tea fragrances, there's something extra special about this. But if you just like Jasmine green tea fragrances, this is just a great scent all around, and this is something that has made me so happy. And again, this is what I want to see. You don't have to be expensive. You don't have to be avant-garde and create unwearable types of fragrances that people just can't wrap their heads around. I like those fragrances too, but if you want to take little risks, if you want to do things that are different and not seen, because again, when it comes down to green tea scents, normally people try to shy away from the bitterness and go to kind of more of a bright, sunshiny sweetness, which is nice. But that little tiny bit of bitterness makes this so special on the skin, and there's just something about it that I crave and I love. Now, the only issue I have with this fragrance is its longevity. It lasts about 4 hours on my skin. Normally with fresh fragrances, I get 4 to 6 hours, sometimes maybe not up to 4 hours, but I would expect a little bit more than 4 hours. This is more of a linear scent, so how it smells on your skin upon opening is about how it's going to smell as it kind of dies away on your skin. I don't mind reapplying this. I do kind of drown myself in this fragrance, but this does have, the only issue I have with this does have to do with its longevity. However, if you are looking for a new fragrance to add to your collection and you like jasmine and green tea, may I recommend giving this fragrance a shot. It has completely wowed me and I love it. It's so good. It's so good. Anyway, that is my review of this gorgeous fragrance from the house of Fragonard. I think I said that correctly. You guys know I can't say French. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you have other tea fragrances that you love, it doesn't matter what tea, let me know what it is below. I'm always looking for more tea fragrances to add to my collection. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time.